everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. This one for Friday, November 3rd, 2023. It's a Friday. I swear I could have gone on longer. The one great thing about me, I don't have many good things about me, but I have a great lung capacity. I think I just proved that right there. How's everybody doing? We made it through another week. Another week of all kinds of Michigan news. And I must be honest with you, I had no intention of talking Michigan on this podcast. I wanted to send you into the weekend on a good note. I wanted to talk to my brother. You might be thinking to yourself, what's he talking about? Last week, I did a podcast. It was right after the Lions lost to the Ravens. My brother called me up. He came up with this scary theory that the Lions just aren't that good. They're just really not that good. They've played nobody. Like, yeah, they'll beat bad teams, but they're not going to do anything special. So I called Dave up. He's my brother. I'm like, dude, will you come on with me? Because I actually brought it up to you first. And a lot of you said, yeah, bring him on. So I had that all scheduled, and I was going to do that. But instead, more Michigan crap. Now even I'm getting sick of it. Yesterday, I told you I kind of liked it. Connor Stallions on the sidelines at Central Michigan. I still get a kick out of the video recording glasses that he may or may not have been wearing. Yeah, I looked them up on Amazon. They're like $350. But it is amazing, like one day of talking about it on the radio, and of course, just consuming everything about this sign-stealing saga. I've grown kind of tired of it. But then I read on Yahoo and The Athletic and, of course, ESPN that yesterday there was more news. On Wednesday, we found out about the meeting between Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti and Big Ten coaches. And you heard about this on Wednesday. You heard about this, of course, on Thursday. According to The Athletic, and I'll read you one of the quotes from the coaches' meeting with the commish of the Big Ten. There was one coach, not named. He was very upset. Apparently what happened was Jim Harbaugh was on this call. He logged off this call. It was like a FaceTime call. And then for 90 minutes after Jim Harbaugh left, the other Big Ten coaches bitched about Jim Harbaugh. They whined about Jim Harbaugh, right? One of the coaches, and I got this from The Athletic, and this is pretty damning, said the following. One of the most egregious breaches in the spirit of the game he's ever heard of. Same guy went on to say, Michigan has been manipulating the game and cheating the game for 2.5 years. To know exactly what the other team is doing, Michigan might as well have 15 guys on the field. What's the message the Big Ten is sending now by doing nothing? Win now, pay later? We might as well just send people to scout their practices and their games. It doesn't encourage anybody to follow the rules. It's just telling them to do the opposite and just say, fuck it. That was the coach. The coaches were fired up. I understand why. A lot of people are like, oh my God, they're so soft. They bitched about Harbaugh when they could have done it to his face. Why would they have done it to his face, by the way? They don't want that stuff getting out. And it didn't get out, with the exception of a couple quotes. So Wednesday night was the coaches meeting with the commish. Thursday night was the athletic directors meeting with the commish. And by the way, according to The Athletic and Yahoo and ESPN, this was the second meeting in a week. ADs, Petiti, trying to figure out if they're going to do anything to Michigan this season, because we all know the NCAA investigation is going to take way too long. And the majority of these other schools in the Big Ten, if not all of them, want justice now. The commish has a monumental decision to make. It's obvious. He's getting pressure from every school in the Big Ten. The coaches, the ADs, he's even met with the school presidents. So what the hell is he going to do? What's he going to do? He might have been waiting for Michigan to self-impose, which, by the way, would let him off the hook. He's been on the job for 8 freaking months. If he disciplines Michigan too harsh, he could get sued. If he does something too light, he could lose everybody else in the Big Ten. Maybe he only cares about the money. And then everybody else in the Big Ten thinks, oh, all he cares about is the Block M over the Big Ten logo. It's a hell of a decision to have to be put on the spot and made 8 months into the job. Plus, what evidence does he have? Does the NCAA have all the evidence? Like, I don't quite know what Petitti's going to do here. Any penalty that Petitti might do is under the Big Ten sportsmanship policy. And I feel we've told you about this, but I'll tell you again. Before we get into the crux of it all, okay? Petitti's got two choices if he does want to punish Michigan. One is the standard, one is the major. Standard, he does not need approval. He can fine somebody up to $10,000. He can suspend somebody up to 2 games, no more than 2 games. That's standard. Major action he could take as well. That's when you need the approval from the Big Ten Executive Board of Presidents. And we already know he's going to get that approval. There's no question about that. So what the hell is he going to do? What would a punishment even look like? What evidence does he have? According to Yahoo, and this is interesting, the most likely punishment that Petitti would levy on Michigan would be a suspension of Jim Harbaugh. They would do that because it would not directly impact the players. It would be unprecedented. Could be too severe. Jim could sue him. If it's not severe enough, again, the rest of the Big Ten is like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, come on. According to ESPN, the ADs left the call yesterday thinking that the commish is taking the ability to punish Michigan over the allegations more serious than before. So they believe they've made some headway. Speaking of the commish, he's going to be in Ann Arbor tomorrow. He was always supposed to be in Ann Arbor. Some volleyball thing going on, apparently. But now that he's in Ann Arbor, he's going to meet with Santa Ono, the president of Michigan. He was never supposed to meet with Santa Ono, Ward Manuel, or Jim Harbaugh. But now, according to Nicole Arbach, he's requested a meeting with Santa. And later on today, he's going to meet with them. Now, will a punishment then come down? Will there be a punishment at all? I don't know. I can tell you this. According to sources that know about the meeting that took place, Petitti would not tell the AD what information he got from the NCAA. But he did say he could not make a decision on Michigan this season based on a whim. He needs to see a set of facts. Also said, has no idea if the NCAA is going to be able to help him or not, how much he's going to be able to get help from the NCAA. The NCAA, by the way, did warn the Big Ten to begin with. So the Big Ten, of course, could warn their teams that Michigan has their signs. Like, what an absolute mess this entire thing is. But it gets more interesting. Because if you have a crappy football team, let's just say like Michigan State, and you knew you can't beat Michigan because they lost to them 49-0. Maybe the Spartans pep up a little bit during one of these meetings and tell the commish how badly Michigan deserves to be punished. That's exactly what happened. Apparently, according to sources from ESPN, MSU AD Alan Haller had the most powerful message of all the athletic directors. Haller said he was worried about his players potentially getting hurt because Michigan players, in theory, knew where the players were going to go. Of course, Michigan beat them 49-0. Michigan State was given the option of not playing the game. They got their asses kicked. They probably should have not played the game. But there's more from Haller. Haller also referenced last season when the Big Ten was forced to suspend numerous players after the tunnel incident in Ann Arbor before the league finished investigating the incident. Haller pointed out that it was hypocritical that this year, with Michigan under investigation, the league is now waiting for an investigation to unfold. Bravo. That's Sparty stirring it up, trying to get old Jimmy suspended, trying to punish Michigan. And why wouldn't you? You got your ass kicked 49-0, and everybody believes that Michigan is cheating. I do love it because Haller apparently is pretty reserved, they say. But yesterday, he was very emotional relaying this message, according to sources. That's pretty cool. The rivalry never dies, right? Alan Haller trying to stick the knife in Michigan's national championship quest. Maybe you don't find it funny. I'm sorry for laughing. I guess the coaches were more pissed. The ADs were more measured and showed support for Commissioner Petiti. But there's more. There's more, people. I got more. I already told you that Santa Ono is going to meet with Petiti tomorrow. Maybe a suspension is handed down. Maybe it's not. I have no idea. Yahoo got into the punishments, and all they listed was the one. Potentially not affecting the kids. You play the games, but there's no Jim Harbaugh. I don't know what other punishments there might be. But apparently, by all accounts and all sources and everything I read, the commission is now taking this very seriously. But there's more. What is the evidence, right? We know there's the Central Michigan picture that looks like Connor Stalions. We know that Stalions was sharing a computer with MSU or make that Michigan staffers and coaches where footage was uploaded to. We know that they scouted the Buckeyes 8 times. We know that they tried to scout Georgia 4 to 5 times. Like, we know all this stuff, but do they have a smoking gun? Do they? I ask you. I don't know. I don't think they do. That's what makes this so difficult. Petiti's got a hell of a decision to make, because if he suspends Jim Harbaugh or even does something more or different, then according to people that do it for a living, like lawyers and stuff, Michigan could sue the Big Ten. That would be hell. But again, if he doesn't do anything, then Petiti, 8 months on the job, is going to lose everybody else in the Big Ten because he's playing favorites and he wants money and he thinks Michigan's their golden goose. It is a freaking mess. But getting back to the evidence, what evidence do they have? Purdue head coach Ryan Walters addressed Michigan sign stealing. It was on his coach's show. I want to play this for you, okay? Because we keep asking, can you really do something on what we know? Is there really a smoking gun? Take a listen to what Walters says.
It's been in the news here the last few weeks. Certainly there's an investigation going on of Michigan and the fact that apparently they've had people coming out and buying tickets to games where you're not supposed to do that. As a result of that, are you doing anything different on Saturday night to prepare for what could be happening on the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate, and what's crazy is there aren't allegations, like it happened. You know what I mean? And there's video evidence. There's ticket purchases and sales that you can track back, and we know for a fact that they were at a number of our games, and so we've had to teach our guys a new language in terms of some signals, and we will operate differently offensively. Like you might see us in a huddle, for the first time this season. So it is what it is, but we're excited to go play, and I think it'll make for a great story.
How about that? He doesn't even care. He knows that it happened, according to Ryan Walters, who's the head coach of Purdue. He knows that it happened. So Michigan was scouting them. Michigan knows their plays. They don't have Connor Stalions on the sidelines to do whatever they need to do with them. How about that, though? I would assume that Walters was probably pretty vocal on Wednesday night, yelling and screaming about Michigan, too. So what does it all add up to? We know that Santa Ono is going to meet with Petiti, the commissioner of the Big Ten. We know that the coaches are furious. The athletic directors are a little more understanding. Petiti, by the way, has also met with the presidents as well. Santa Ono had to excuse himself from that, and the presidents bitched about the sign stealing scandal. This is all a mess. And I don't think it's ever going to end. And I don't know what you do if you're the commissioner of the Big Ten. I feel we were the first on the Daily Ticket to bring this to you, that the Big Ten could step in. Now the Big Ten wants the commissioner to make it happen. They don't care about how much money Michigan could get them in a bowl game. Oh, no, they don't give a damn about that. They want the Wolverines punished. So what do you think? Is there enough evidence to punish Harbaugh and company? What would the punishment be? The only punishment listed by everything I read would be a suspension to Harbaugh. Would that even matter? You could beat Purdue without Harbaugh. What if Purdue actually beats you? That's the other thing, by the way. Like, there's no question in my mind Michigan is 3 touchdowns better than Purdue. And they're not going to be cheating because they don't have stallions. And I got to believe Purdue has had ample time to change their signs. With that being said, if Purdue beats the Wolverines, this thing entirely goes away, and everybody just says, see, you needed stallions, you needed to cheat. But I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I guess you got a better chance of Michigan losing the next week, whether in Crappy Valley to take on Penn State. But is Harbaugh coaching in that game? It started off like a pipe dream that the Big Ten was going to do anything punishment-wise. But the longer this goes on, and it's every day, and sides of the Big Ten are meeting, I guess I wouldn't be shocked if something does happen. So what do you think? Does Michigan deserve a punishment? What should that punishment be? This is such a huge decision for the commissioner. 8 months on the job. Got to rule, brother. You got to rule. What's it going to be? So let me know. Comment section below. I hope on Monday we can move on from the Michigan stuff. But I'm willing to bet that's not going to be the case. What do you think? I have no idea. Seems like it's getting pretty damn serious, though, doesn't it? Let's get to the comments, shall we? If you watch or listen to the Daily Ticket. Sorry, it's late. You know that I read a comment, a good comment. I read a bad comment as well. I like when you comment. I like to interact with the comments. Some are nice, some are not so nice. I read them all. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to comment and watch and rate and review and download. You guys are the best. Let's go to the good comment. It's very nice. Says Rieger tells it like it is, even though he's a Michigan fan. He's brutally honest that Michigan has indeed been caught with their pants down. I would agree. Thank you. It's the nicest thing you could ever say to me. Michigan fan, but I'll tell it like it is. I'm no slappy. I work with some, but I'm not one of them. I swear. Let's go to the bad comment. This one could be a Michigan slappy. His handle or her handle is JJK44 Go Blue. Let me read that again. JJK44 Go Blue. Think they're a Michigan fan? You'll know for certain after I read you their comment. You are a buffoon. You sound like a completely ignorant, senseless, moronic fool hater. It's a lot of words. What a scared scumbag who is clearly showing how little actual football knowledge you possess. Shaking my head. He did one of these emojis too. You know, like whatever. Let's break this down. Buffoon sounds like a completely ignorant, senseless, moronic fool hater. What the hell? And then he calls me a scared scumbag. All right. I think he covered all his bases. You think that's a Michigan fan? Think that's a Michigan fan that doesn't like the fact that we're talking about Michigan being fucking cheaters? I kind of feel that's what that is. I think that's what that is. You got to learn to differentiate the program that's breaking your heart from the guy, me, talking about it, trying to be neutral, trying to be right down the middle. Moronic fool hater. Scared scumbag. Hurtful words. Very hurtful. Anyway, that's today's episode of the Daily Ticket. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Next week, we get my brother on to defend himself. It's going to be more fun. Kind of brought down a little bit by all this Michigan stuff, but you got to talk about it, right? The program is in shambles. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Saturday at the Big House is going to be truly interesting. Truly interesting. How many times on the broadcast do they even mention this? My guess is a ton. I almost swore again. Only one swear word per episode. I think those are the bylaws of this. I don't want to get in trouble. Michigan's already in trouble. I don't need to be in trouble too. So let me know what you think. Comment section below. What's going to happen to Jim Harbaugh? What's going to happen to Michigan? The commissioners meeting with everybody, including Michigan's president, come later today. What comes of it? You tell me. I don't know. But man, there's going to be some more reporting on it, and I'm sure we can sink our teeth into it over the weekend. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Enjoy the football. Lions on a bye week. Watch the rest of the NFL. College football, fantastic. I can't wait for the weekend to get going officially. Guys, you're the best. Thanks for watching, rating, reviewing, downloading. We'll catch you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.